So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start off on the back. And if you are having problems with the back, then just bring the knees bent with the feet flat. That might be a little bit less pressure. Otherwise, we can bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. And just close down the eyes and soften the face. And we're just going to spend a few moments grounding and coming into the breath. So I want you to breathe through the nose and maybe sigh out the first 2 or 3 exhales. Just rest the hands gently on the belly. And just slowly start breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. As you breathe in, I want you to fill up the lungs. Feel that diaphragm pushing down towards the stomach. And that's what causes that belly to rise. So really feel that belly and the ribs pressing into the hands as we breathe in. Slowly drawing back as we breathe out. So we're going to do a bit of an all-round practice. Just stretching the whole body. I want you to really listen to your body. So please come out of poses if they're painful. And feel free to vary something to suit your body. I want you to take the hands around the back of the ribs if that's available. We often focus on the front as well, but just notice the back. And as you breathe in, just feel that nice deep breath all the way into the back towards the spine. Feel that space in the back ribs as well. Just notice how your body's feeling right here, right now. Being aware of any pains or aches. Notice the hips and the pelvis just gently resting on the mat. You can take a little rock if that's available. Just moving all the way up towards the heart and the shoulders now. You take the hands there if you want. As you breathe and just feel that heart lift and rise towards the sky. And exhale, gently draw it back down. And I want you to slowly now move your awareness away. So maybe visualize yourself looking down at your body. And I want you to see if you can get a sense of inhaling through the whole body. So lifting as we breathe in and exhaling through the whole body. So inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Let's take 2 more. And on the next inhale, I want you to slowly draw the knees in towards each other. And just take a moment to see how you're feeling. And that breathing exercise we do at the beginning of most of our classes, please try to do that on other days, just for a couple of minutes, coming into the breath. And at any time during the practice, your mind drifts or wanders, just bring it back to the breath as many times as you need. We're going to slowly draw the knees into the chest one by one. Give yourself a nice little hug and a gentle rock from side to side. So just be mindful of any back pains here. And we're going to come to stillness. Inhale, lift the forehead towards the knees. Shoot the fingers out. Exhale to lower. Take 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And release. And we're going to slowly bring the feet back to the mat. Just check that you can brush the heels with the fingertips. Arms by the side. And we're going to inhale as we lift the hips up. We're going to come into bridge pose. So you can slowly engage the glutes here, but engage in the quads. And if you want to make it more dynamic, engage those inner thigh muscles just to keep the knees a little bit together. And let's stay here for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Slowly come back to the mat. Just take a few breaths. Going to keep the arms by the side, and we're going to take that one more time. Inhale to lift. Just breathe in, breathe out. Just take one more inhale, and exhale as we release all the way down. And this time I want you to bring the knees into the chest, give them a nice squeeze, and we're going to take the legs all the way up. So we're going to press the feet towards the ceiling as we flex the toes towards the face. So we're opening the hamstrings. Remember, you can keep a little bend or you can just not go into it as much. We're going to point and flex. Take a few of these, and we're going to take a few rotations in both directions. Really opening up the body here. And I want you to slowly bring the legs out wide. So we're opening up the thighs and the groin area as well. So just take your time. Don't force anything. You can support the legs with the hands if you want. You can breathe into it a little deeper. You can take a little rock if that's available. And slowly in your own time, start bringing the legs back towards each other. I'm going to work into the abs as well. We're going to hug the knees in one more time. Nice little squeeze and a gentle rock from side to side. And this time I want you to lift the legs back up towards the sky. Bring the arms to the side. Now we're going to take our leg raises. You can either point and bring the feet and the legs together, or you can take one at a time. You may want to tap the abs just to check they're engaged. But just take a few. And remember, if you're gripping the mat for dear life, maybe just go a little bit easy. So just work with the breath. Keep breathing. Just engage the abs. We're going to just take a couple more. And when you're ready, slowly bring the legs back together, draw the knees in, and just take a nice little squeeze and a hug. The next exercise we're going to do is same with the abs. We're going to bring the legs all the way up. And this time I want you to bring them down slowly, just to about 45 degrees. Open them wide and just bring them together. Left over right and open. Right over left and open. We're not going to do too many of these. Keep breathing. We're just going to take 5 more. When you're ready, I want you to draw the legs in and bring the knees into the chest again. So just a nice little hug and a squeeze. We're going to take one more abs exercise. So what I want you to do is I want you to bend the knees, bring the feet flat on the mat. And we're going to work into the oblique. So that's the side abs. I want you to bring the hands to the side. We're going to lift the chest off and we're going to draw that right hand towards that right heel. So we're engaging the abs here. Come back through center, over to the left. So let's take 10 on each side. Just take your time. You can release that chest if it's a little bit too much. Remember to keep breathing. When you've done your 10 or fewer, if that's where you're at today, that's absolutely fine. Just slowly come back to center and gently release. We're done with the abs, guys. That's really good. So take a few breaths. And I want you to take that right foot, lift it up and bring it to rest on that left thigh. And I want you to flex into that right foot for protecting the knee. And just let that right hip naturally open up. So just see where your body's at today. You can take that right hand and just maneuver it a little bit deeper if you want. If you want to go further, you can loop the hands through and take them around the left shin or the left thigh. Just breathe with it. This is quite a deep hip opener for the right side. So take your time. Don't force anything. So just going to take a couple more breaths. And what I want you to do when you exhale, I want you to slowly release the left foot, but take hold of the right foot with the hands. So we're sticking with the right leg for now. And we're just going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. And then I want you to slowly open out that right leg. We're working into the hamstrings a little bit more. Remember, you can bend that knee if you want. And just draw that right leg a little bit towards the upper body. But really be careful here. Any pain, I want you to come out slightly and bend the knee. And you might find as you breathe in and out that you actually do create more space. Don't worry if you don't. Just listen to your body. All right, just a couple more breaths, guys. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly come out. So give that leg a nice squeeze, bring that knee in, and release that foot. Take a couple of breaths. And we're going to move over to the other side. So bring that left foot to rest on that right thigh. Flex the foot and just check. Where's that left hip going? It might be a little bit tighter on this side. Might be looser. That's fine. Now we're going to take the left hand and see if you can just create a little bit more space if it's available. But I like to have a few moments to see where your body's at naturally. There's sometimes a bit of ego in yoga where people just force movements and they force space. But just love your body for where it is right now. If you want, you can loop the hands through, bring them around that right shin or that right thigh. Just breathe with it. Now I know I'm tighter on my left side. I have to be a little bit careful that I don't force it. All right, we're just going to take a couple more breaths here, guys. When you're ready, slowly release. Keep hold of that left foot. And we're going to open out that left leg this time. Breathe it towards the body. You see if there's more space, that's absolutely fine. You're going to just take a couple more breaths here. When you're ready, slowly release. Just take a few moments to see how your body's feeling. We're going to come into our twists. So we're going to take the arms out wide. And I want you to inhale as you lift the hips up slightly. Shift them over to the right a couple of inches. And we're going to twist over to the left. So drop the knees over to the left. You can take hold of the outside of the left thigh with the left hand if you want to go deeper. And just take the gaze wherever it's comfortable. Just to draw that right shoulder towards the mat. We're breathing deep into that right side body. And what I would say, if you've got issues with the lower back, if you want to stretch into the lower back a little bit, you can bring the knees up a little bit towards the chest. So just have a little play around with what's right for you right now. Okay, we're just going to take a couple more breaths here. And slowly come back to center on the inhale. Just take a couple of breaths out. We're going to move the arms out to the side again. Inhale to lift the hips. Shift it over to the left this time as we drop the knees over to the right. So breathing into that left side body. So these sorts of twists are quite good if you've got back issues. We're breathing all the way in, all the way out. We're just going to take a couple more breaths here. I want you to slowly make your way back to center. And just take a few moments here. We're going to come into our tabletop position on all fours. So I want you to get there in a safe way. You can roll up and down, or you can roll out to the side. So just do whatever is good for you today. So I want you to come into all fours. So hands spread out nice and wide, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. And we're going to take our cat-cow breath. So if you haven't done this before, I want you to inhale. And as you inhale, tilt the pelvis, so rock it forward towards the mat. So you're drawing the belly down towards the mat, all the way up towards the shoulders. Bring them into each other as you take the gaze up. So you can take a look if you need a demo. As you exhale, reverse the motion, so draw the pelvis towards the sky, pull the belly up towards the spine, round the shoulder blades, take the gaze down. So you're just rolling the spine both directions, just working with the breath here. So this should be quite nice if you've got any back issues as well. Can be quite good for the shoulders and also for the neck. So take your time when you're moving the spine. Imagine someone's walking their fingers up and down the back. You can take a few out to the sides if you want, just to mix it up a little bit. And this is a really good pose if you're sort of working from home, especially, and hunched over a computer. We're just going to take a couple more. And we're going to come back to your neutral spine. Just take a moment to see how you're feeling. We're going to come onto the fingertips here and press each finger pad into the mat and the thumb as well. And slowly bring the hands back to the mat. And I want you to take that right arm out. So bring it parallel to the mat, reaching forward. So draw that shoulder as well. So nice and active. And we're going to bring that left leg up as well. So you can try and line up the hips. So you're engaging the core here. I want you to bend that left knee, if it's available, and take hold of the left foot with the right hand. And we're going to inhale, we lift and press. So remember, these are all options. You can just stay where you want to. Inhales, we lift and press. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale, gently release. Bring that left knee down. Bring that right hand up. We're going to move over to the other side. So we're going to bring that left arm out. Active fingers reaching forward. Option to take that right leg up. So you can press that foot away from the body. As if you're trying to press that wall behind you. Option to bend the right knee and take hold of the right foot this time in the left hand. Inhale as we press and lift. And you can take the gaze over that left shoulder. Your choice. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale to release. Nice. Now what we're going to do next, you've got options. You can, if you want to, come into child's pose. Again, if you've got back issues, you might want to bring the knees together so you're rounding that back even more. If you want to sink into the heart, you can bring the knees out wide. Quite nice for the shoulders, this one. Otherwise, if you want to, come into your forearm plank. Take hold of opposite elbows, check where you're at. You bring the hands together or flat hands. And just come into your forearm plank. And we're going to stay wherever we are for 5 breaths. And when you've done your 5 breaths, I want you to meet me back in tabletop pose. This time we're going to take that right arm and we're going to thread it under the left armpit, bringing that right shoulder onto the mat. So this is quite a nice juicy stretch for the shoulder. You'll take a couple more breaths. And I want you to come all the way back up. Now you've got your options again. You can drop back into your version of child's pose, or you can come into plank pose. You can come into forearm plank pose. It's your choice. Whichever one you're doing, get into your position, and we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Plank pose is a really good pose for the whole body. It's good for the core. It's good for the upper body. Try and keep your shoulders nice and strong so we're not sinking in. Okay, let's take 3 more breaths wherever you are. I'm going to slowly drop. I'm going to come back into our all fours position. And remember, when you do plank pose, you can do it on the knees as well. So don't worry. You're going to take that left hand and we're going to thread it under the right arm this time. And we're going to work into that left shoulder. Just going to take a couple more breaths here. We're going to lift up. And you've got your choice. So 5 breaths in plank or child's pose or plank on the knees. Just going to breathe in, breathe out. Let's take 3 more breaths. I want you to slowly drop the knees, come back into your tabletop. And from here, I want you to tuck the toes under. Inhale as we lift the hips all the way up towards the sky. We're coming into downward facing dog. So I want you to take the gaze behind you. So take it between the legs towards the navel. Please keep the heels lifted if you need to, and bend the knees a little bit if you need to. I want you to press the hands into the mat, shoulders away from each other. And we're going to inhale as we lift the heels away, exhale to lower. Take 2 more. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. 1 more time. I'm going to take 3 lion's breaths. When you exhale, just open the mouth, stick the tongue out, and let it all go. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, take the gaze between the hands, and we're going to slowly walk the feet towards the hands. So just come to the top of the mat and just let yourself hang here in your ragdoll. So you can take hold of opposite elbows. You can swing it out. Bend the knees if you need to. We're just opening up the body. This is a really good forward fold for the back as well. Just relax the back. Let gravity do the work. And if you want, take the hands wherever they reach. Big toes, mat, shins, thighs. And as you inhale, just lift the chest, straighten the arms. Exhale to lower. Just take a few more. When you're ready, I want you to start slowly coming all the way up. Take the hand all the way up overhead. Come onto the tiptoes if you want. Nice big stretch. Shoot the fingers up towards the sky and release. And just take a few shoulder rolls here in both directions. Just remember, it's nice to work into the shoulders. We often carry a lot of tension and anxiety in the shoulders. So it's quite handy to sort of work into them and loosen them up. Come into your mountain pose. You can bring the feet together or keep them apart. Lift the toes off the mat. Spread them out as you bring them back down. I want you to shift the weight a little bit towards the heels, shoulders away from the ears, arms by the side. Let's take 3 deep breaths out. You're going to inhale to rise. Float the arms up. Take the gaze up. Exhale. Let's float forward. Take it towards the mat. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale. Let's step back with the right. Step back with the left. Coming into plank pose. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, I want you to bend the elbows. You can drop the knees if you need to. Inhale. Let's open the heart. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, lift the hips up, come back into downward facing dog. Just take a few breaths out. I want you to breathe into the back of the body as well. So we're not just sinking that chest, we're keeping the pelvis and the back and the ribs nice and strong. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, take the gaze between the hands. Step or walk, feet to hand. Inhale, halfway lift. You can come onto the fingertips or the shins. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Gaze to the sky. Exhale to release. Let's take a few shoulder rolls. Right, we're going to do a couple more sun salutations with a sequence. So just take your time. Just take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale to rise. Exhale. Let's fold forward from the hips. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale, let's step back into plank pose. We're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Remember, you can drop the knees at any point. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, hug them in towards the body. Inhale as we open. So I want you to take the gaze between the legs behind you. We're going to inhale as we lift that right leg in the air. Try and keep the hips nice and straight if that's available. Spread out that foot, nice and big. As you exhale, I want you to bend the right knee, bring the right foot between the hands. Take your time. We're going to drop that back knee. We're going to inhale as we sweep the arms up for our low lunge. You can lift that back knee if you want to. Take it a little deeper. It's your choice. And I want you to exhale as you bring that left hand to the mat. Take the right hand to stabilize that left shoulder as we twist over to the right. So you can bring that right arm up towards the sky. So keep that left shoulder nice and strong. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale, release that right hand to the mat. And what I want you to do this time is I want you to float that left foot all the way up, coming into your standing splits. You can have a go at releasing the hands around that right leg. It's your choice. Ooh. And when you're ready, I want you to start bending that left knee, bringing that left foot towards the bum, and slowly bring that left knee in towards the chest. And I want you to drop that left foot to meet the right, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, coming into your chair pose. So nice and strong, press the feet into the mat, engage the quads. Take it a little deeper if you want. Take one more inhale. Exhale, let's fold it forward. Just breathe into the back, let it relax. Bend the knees if you need. And we're going to inhale as we come all the way up. Take the gaze to the hands. And exhale, slowly release. So we're nearly there, guys. We've got about 6 or 7 minutes to go. So we're going to move to the other side, so you know what to expect. Let's take a couple more breaths here. We're going to inhale to rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, let's step it back into plank. And let's hold plank a little bit longer. We're going to hold it for a bit longer than before. So remember, you can drop the knees at any point. Just take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, let's bend the elbows. Bring that chest forward. And with inhales, we open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to inhale that left leg in the air. So try keep the hips nice and neutral. Flex that left foot. We're going to bend the left knee, bring the left foot between the hands. And you can drop that back knee if you want. As we inhale, sweep the arms up for your low lunge. Or you can lift that knee at any point. Exhale as you drop that right hand to the mat. And I want you to use the left hand to stabilize that right shoulder as we twist over to the left. Remember, keep that right shoulder nice and strong. Breathe in, breathe out. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, I want you to release that left hand onto the mat. And I want you to shoot that right foot up into the air. And we're going to come into our standing splits. And again, you can have a little go at releasing the hand around that left leg. So don't worry if you wobble. I'm a bit weaker on my left, so it's quite fun to try. And I want you to now start bending that right knee. Bring that right foot towards the buttocks and slowly start bringing that right knee in towards the chest. And let's drop that right foot to join the left. Let's bend the knees and sweep up into our final chair pose. You take it a little deeper if you want. You can actually lift the heels off if you want to take it further. It's your choice. Guys, just bear with me one. Someone at the door. Sorry about that. There was someone at the door. They just weren't going. So we're just going to meet in our forward fold. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And I want you to inhale to rise. Take the arms all the way up to the sky. And exhale to release. So we've only got a couple of minutes left, but I want to just have a go at us coming into goddess pose. So I want you to take your hands around your waist and bring that left leg out wide. So I want you to have the toes away from the midline and just sink into your goddess pose. We're just going to be here for a few breaths. You can do whatever you want. You can make it more dynamic, taking it up and down. Just draw those knees away, so nice and strong. If you want to go deeper, you can take it all the way down to the right, lifting up and all the way down to the left. So it's your choice. We're going to stay here for 3, for 2, for 1. And let's come all the way up, hands to the waist, and let's bounce back to the top of the mat. And from here, I want you to bring your feet mat distance apart, bring the hands to heart center, and we're going to slowly start coming into our yogi squat. Breathe in, breathe out. And when you're ready, slowly release the bum to the mat. We're going to come into our final Shavasana. So I want you to come down onto the forearms. And when you're here, just breathe into the ribs. So create that space as we slowly come down all the way. Just release the legs. If you've got any back issues, and of course you can keep the knees bent, whatever's comfortable. And let's just take the arms out wide. Feel that space in the armpits as well. And we're just going to be here for a few moments. Forgot to put my mobile on Do Not Disturb, and I'm using it to film the class, so I'm sorry if we had a couple of muted moments when my phone rang. Shavasana is one of the most important parts of yoga. So this final bit where we lay down, a really good opportunity just to come back, just resting for a few moments. We're just going to start deepening the breath. Let's start wriggling the fingers and the toes. Let's rotate the ankles and the wrists in both directions. And we're going to have a nice big stretch. So just do what you need. Ugh. And just draw the knees into the chest and give yourself a nice little hug. And just take your time. I want you to meet me in a nice, comfortable seated position. So you can roll out to the side and come up if you want. So when you're in your seated position, you've got options. You can just come to a normal cross-legged position. Just make sure you're nicely grounded into the mat. You can have a go at lotus pose. You can do one foot. You can do two. I'm working on that still, lifting up quite a bit there. You're not forcing anything, so just do what's comfortable. You're going to bring the hands to heart center, or you can rest them on the knees. Close down the eyes, soften the face. And we're going to end with our 3 clearing breaths. We're going to breathe in through the nose and just gently exhale out the mouth. We're going to slowly bring the thumbs up to the third eye between the eyes. I want to thank you all for joining me for today's practice, and I want to thank Craig for joining. I hope you've enjoyed it. And just a little reminder for me, as well as anyone else, it's okay to put your do not disturb on once in a while. The inner light in me will always honor the inner light in you. Thank you so much for today's practice. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Shabnam.
Thanks. I don't know if Craig's still there anyway.
No, he disappeared after 10 minutes.
Say that again?
I think he disappeared after 10 minutes.
Naughty Craig. I did more instructions because I knew Craig. If I thought Craig was there, I didn't want him to like hurt himself. But hey ho, brilliant! Thank you so much. I'll be in touch about the next class. It might be Thursday. I've just got to sort out a couple of client things, so I'll have to let you know.
No, don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself. I know how it is. I've had so many weeks of just something happening at 11:30.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things. Take care.
No, thanks. I'll take care, both of you. Hope you feel better. Take care.
Bye, Caroline.
Annie, call me.